starting, if I have to like recall how the process was last year, at least for us. So we had like a written exam after our pre-placement talk. And once after we cleared our pre-placement, I mean our written exam, we like had I think I had like 3 to 4 rounds of interviews where two of them were technical. Uh, the other two were like just a phone call HR rounds. So I just had like 3 to 4 calls before they sent out the um, final offers for us. Um, so yeah, that's how it happened last year, and I'm not sure what they'll be doing this year. And yeah, so this is how the hiring happened for us last year.
And what topics are they stressed on interviews?
It wasn't anything specific on like I cannot say like it was on like one topic or two topics. See, as like compared to any other placement exam that we have, you will be tested upon your data structures, your problem solving skills, and obviously they tested like the written exam, if I'm not wrong, had few aptitude questions, and it had like computer fundamental questions on computer fundamentals too. That is, so they covered a lot of questions from OS, uh, computer networks, and other basic computer computer science related or basically IT related subjects that we have. And yeah, obviously coding, where I think we had like one coding question to solve. Um, yeah, even in interviews, it wasn't like something that was specific. Yeah, you'll be mainly tested upon your problem solving skills and how your thinking capabilities are. Uh, yeah, so yeah, I cannot say that you'll be tested upon some specific topics, but yeah, on these things you'll be tested for sure. And also for the role, if I'm not wrong, I think it will be a technical assessment. For that role, I think um, uh, having a knowledge on Linux commands also would really help there. Um, yeah, so I hope I answered the question. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, if you have any other questions about. Mm.
Guys, if you have any questions, please ask.
So I think I can see a couple of questions in the chat. Uh, uh, so which topics are asked in technical interviews? Like as I mentioned, it won't be something specific. If I have to like broadly mention, in interviews you'll be tested upon uh, your computer your computer fundamentals. That is, the basic subjects that we have like DBMS, operating system, computer networks. So you'll be tested upon these things, and it you should basically understand all the fundamentals of this subject thoroughly. So like more any I hope I'm audible, and let me know if I'm not. And even like the interviewers and all, most of them would be senior people, and they and most of them would be graduated from IITs and all, uh, as far as I observed, and they will be the one who will be taking your interview. So these people will mainly concentrate on your like basic fund. They'll just check if your fundamentals understanding is pretty good, rather than having uh, knowledge about something, some particular topic a lot, and where we don't know about some other topic. So you should uh, have this base built like very strong. That's how they test you. And yeah, you will also be tested on yeah, data structures and algorithms, or like uh, so yeah, uh, you'll be given some question and asked to write a code for it and all in the interviews, like any other companies would test you. Um, so yeah, this technical interviews would be happening for 2 rounds. Uh, yeah, so yeah, yeah, these topics, like at least I was tested on operating system, few concepts from computer networks also, if I'm not wrong, and DSA, SQL, DBMS, and all. These are like few topics that I was tested like on my interviews. Level of DSA questions in interviews, they wouldn't be too hard. At the same time, they wouldn't be too easy. So you'll have to like just think a little. From my experience, I would say they would be medium or to a little hard level questions. But yeah, they won't be like super hard. At the same time, they won't be super easy. Let it be interview or the written exam that you'll have. What was the pattern or number of questions? Uh, I'm not sure about this because it's been a while since I gave this test. If I remember all the questions that we had for aptitude and computer fundamentals, if I remember, they were all like MCQs only, and I think few of them had fill in the blanks or something. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, something like these only. Uh, yeah, so and a coding question obviously. So yeah, this was it. I don't remember the number of questions and all exactly. I think all of these details will be mentioned in your pre-placement talk whenever it is scheduled. They'll clearly give you the exam pattern, duration, and all. This technical associate role involve coding because this year's JD doesn't seem to be related to coding. So technical associate in De.Shaw is basically a DevOps role. If if someone who is trying to get into this firm as a technical associate, and if you are thinking you would be coming here to develop some product or create some application there, or basically if you are thinking that it would be something related to software development, then you might be wrong here. So this is a DevOps role, or basically they call it a tech ops also sometimes. So here we would be mainly like the role would be mainly focused on writing to like many scripts, uh, and also if at all your team is working on building some application, then you basically your DevOps team would be responsible for deploying it and all. Uh, and if and basically it is De.Shaw is a financial company, and if your team is closely focused on finance related stuff, then you will be dealing with writing too many scripts which would be related to handling data and things like that, which I'm like not quite sure. But if you are expecting it to be like a software development role, and if that is what you're looking for, then I don't think this role would suit you. So this, uh, yeah, this is a DevOps role. This is like a very close DevOps role, I would say. So yeah, it does involve coding, but not in a way that you will be developing some project, but you will be writing a lot of scripts. It may be, as I mentioned, Linux, basically shell scripting and Linux is needed. So it may be shell scripting, or you might use Python or whatever language that you're comfortable in to write too many scripts that can come handy in day to day for your team. So yeah, is dynamic programming required for this interview? See, these like I'll be a little candid and open on these kind of questions. So it solely depends upon the interviewer, or uh, the one who's trying to test you. Uh, so they might test you in any way to just know your thinking skills and your problem solving skills. So I cannot say that you will be tested on this. At the same time, I cannot say that you won't be too. So if I am trying to recall on what kind of topics that we were tested last year with. Uh, yeah, uh, but I just cannot comment on like such questions that you will be tested or you won't be. But it's a good to know that you know all kind of things to solve. So how many coding questions were asked in each technical interview? So first round would be pretty simple. Simple in the sense they won't stress. Like it won't be for much long. I think it went around like 45 minutes for me, where I think I was only we were only discussing about one like a single coding question in our first interview, and then we moved on to like a couple of computer fundamental questions and all. So yeah, and but in the second round, I had like two interviewers there. Both of them were like senior people in the office, so they were testing me a lot. I think that interview went until like 1.5 hours, if I remember. It was all virtual, but yeah, there even there they tested. I mean, I was given like one coding question, one DSA question that we were discussing upon, and then we moved on to like SQL, DBMS, and many other things, and yeah, few things from my resume and things like that. They asked me to discuss about my projects and all. So yeah, these kind of discussions happened, and it went like 1 to 1.5 hours. And I think in both the interviews, yeah, uh, I was asked, like we were tested upon like one coding question in both the technical interviews. At least for me, it was like that. But I'm not sure how it went for the others, because they won't have a strict pattern saying ki we would uh, test this person with a single coding question or something like that. So it completely depends upon the interviewer. But yeah, you would be tested upon DSA for sure. Uh, mm, yeah, I think I covered all the questions in the chat. Uh, if you guys still have any questions or anything that you're looking out for. Can we change to SP role in the future from the current role? Uh, See, this again solely depends upon your team, your manager, and the requirement in the firm. You do have, I've been working here like since last 7, 8 months. Like few months I was an intern and then I converted to FT. Uh, since like so since I know you will find role shifting openings internally, and if your manager, so basically you can set some long-term goals and all with your managers in the firm. Suppose if you have some career aspirations and all, you can discuss those things with your managers. And if at all, I think you'll even I'm not completely sure, but I think you will be having chances to shift, but it won't be whenever you want to shift or something like that. Whenever there is an opportunity that is provided in the firm, where they are looking out for someone. Uh, uh, for a developer role or something in the firm itself. And even if there is such opportunity, your manager should be okay to move you to that role. So there are like couple of things, but yeah, I did see some opportunities like that. Yeah, where many people moved from one team to other team. And all. Yeah, apart from that, it again like everyone in the firm are like at least like people that I met, they are like uh, the managers and all, they're like pretty friendly. So if your career aspirations are uh, where you want to develop something or you want to become a developer, and if situations are like that, then your managers might allocate some small projects where you're allowed to contribute to develop something. But this again depends on the team in which you are joining, because all teams in the firm completely do not produce, or I mean do not like work on creating some application. There are like too many segregations and all again, which I think you'll be knowing in your replacement talk. But uh, yeah, it's not like uh, completely, so like someone cannot completely assure that you'll get to shift uh, to an SD role, but you will definitely have that opportunities. I won't lie either that it is not impossible also. I mean, it is impossible also. Like, so it is not impossible basically. I did see some openings internally that were there and where you could apply and all. So yeah, uh, can you please elaborate about the phone call interview? Yeah, so it was nothing basically. After two technical interviews, once after the interviewers were satisfied, once after the panel is satisfied with your performance, I think you will be shortlisted further where the HR team would contact you. So it would be normal phone call where they would take like 20 to 30 minutes of your time to discuss, general things about your offers and how dedicated are you to join the company and things like that. Maybe how much you know about the firm, um, like how much you know about the firm that you're joining in, and things like that would be asked. And based on that, offers will be given. So yeah, it would be something general. They would be testing, they would be knowing your personality more rather than your technical skills in this phone call interview. Uh, yeah, I think one call would be majorly on this. I mentioned that 1 to 2 phone call interviews might happen. So the final call would mostly be on your offer. Like they'll be informing you about your offer and the further details that you have any. So you can basically consider, like basically I had at least like 3 interviews, 3 rounds of interviews last year. So two were technical and one was this HR who interviewed me for like 20, 30 minutes with some personality questions and stuff, which I exactly don't remember, but yeah, they weren't anything technical or something. They just basically try to test how dedicated are you to join the firm, if I have to summarize. Mm, yeah. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Mm, yeah. Uh, any more questions, or if you guys want to know anything, or uh, mm, please let me know. Do they focus on projects? See, at least for me, they did. They did in the sense they basically wanted to know about the projects that I worked on, that I basically put in my resume. So they were asking me about them, basically what work did I do and all. So yeah, so they do test, but I won't say that they'll be focusing on them completely either. But yeah, they do check uh, whatever that you put in your resume. So whenever you put something in your resume, ensure that you that is like genuine only, because that might give again like a wrong uh, this thing to the interviewers if you put something that you didn't do. So yeah, uh, how did your aptitude round go? Or all your answers correct? This I'm not sure if they were all correct, but yeah, if I have to comment on aptitude round, I found it little difficult only. Like many other companies also have aptitude in their written test, but I never found questions like that difficult as compared to what De.Shaw uh, was testing upon. So they were like pretty difficult. I had to use my brain a lot. But I'm not sure. I was like pretty confident after I solved those questions, even though like I spent. I think you'll have section wise time limit here as well. So yeah, I did spend like whole. Obviously, I did spend the whole time that like that I was provided for this aptitude section, and I found them like a little difficult at least. But I'm not sure because I'm not. Uh, I never like practiced aptitude a lot, so maybe that is the reason I might have found them difficult. But compared to other, if I have to compare the same aptitude section with other companies' exams, I found these was little difficult. I had to like spend a little time on like each question and brain and use my like brain a lot. But yeah, they were doable only. So I would say you guys also go practice some aptitude on websites like India Bits and all, where uh, you find good questions. Uh, so yeah, 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 that would help on aptitude. On which platform the test was conducted. Even I don't exactly remember this. I think it was HackerRank or something, but I don't remember it because it's been a while. Can you share the pattern of aptitude round? Even I actually don't remember exactly how the pattern of this round was, but all I remember was it had like good number of questions, 10 to 15, um, or if I'm not wrong, or even more. Most of them were MCQs only. It had like questions on uh, arrangements and stuff like that. And yeah, many topics were covered in this section basically. Uh, so yeah, I exactly don't remember because it's been a while since I gave this exam. I'm trying to recollect actually, but yeah, if I'll just think. But if I get to know anything, I'll let you guys know. Um, I'm just trying to think. So, how do you manage and prepare for aptitude round? Yeah, so as I mentioned, like many of our seniors also suggested this website named IndiaBix to practice aptitude there. So yeah, I after like couple of after I gave like couple of this thing exams for placements, I started using IndiaBix for my practice. I used to go to that website and solve questions there, yeah, and things like that. I used to ensure that I covered like most of the topics there. So that's how I used to like prepare for aptitude. And I think yeah, it's a pretty good website only. You'll be finding good questions, and it would cover like most of the topics that the companies would test. Yeah. So that is about aptitude. Will they test our knowledge on finance in the interview as it's a financial firm? Just a second. Yeah, sorry. No, you won't be tested anything on uh, finance related stuff there in the interviews or in any exam because we basically deal with technical aspects in the firm. We are nowhere uh, we nowhere basically deal with any finance related items in even in your work as well. You might see some terminologies here and there, but yeah, you'll learn them eventually in the firm, but they won't be testing you with anything, uh, something that is related to finance. Yeah, so yeah. Any other questions? Can you suggest important DSA topics that they usually cover in interviews? So this it isn't like our like I'll be frank here as well. Any at least I don't find any interview or a company's placement or the written exam that we'll have as a a college exam where we have like defined set of syllabus or portion saying, hey, you'll be tested in these topics, so you just go prepare these topics and come back. It is it, it is always about uh, how you will be able to solve problems, at that particular point of time. Um, but yeah, if keeping these things aside, but yeah, in DSA, I think um, at least I personally used to practice problems a lot on lead code. That did help me. So I think what you guys can also do is, just go over all the data structures, algorithms that you have, and try to solve problems topic wise, understand the patterns in these, each particular data structure, so that when you, see a question, you can try to think of what data structure or algorithm that you can use there in order to solve it. So you guys can like think in this perspective and try to cover all the concepts in a broad perspective rather than sticking to one particular algorithm or data structure and solving problems related to it. So let it be dynamic programming, backtracking, or linked list, array, strings, or whatever data structure that you're picking. Yeah, try to. understand how the questions are related, and yeah, try to understand the patterns in them, and that I think that can really help you, to solve problems in a very short span of time. Like during written exams or interviews, obviously we all will be tense, and that particular point of time we might not be able to think well. So when you try to think in this perspective of what kind of pattern the question is in, and things like that, that can help. And yeah, I do like lead code a lot. So I used to practice a lot of problems on lead code topic wise. Um, so I used to like pick topic and try to solve medium level questions, sometimes hard level questions by myself without seeing solutions and all. So yeah, you guys also can start doing this if you're not. I think most of you guys should be practicing DSA and all regularly by now. But yeah, even if you're not, yeah, it's never late. You guys can like start doing this. I'm not just asking you guys to stick to LeetCode, but I just like that platform. There are many other platforms like CodeChef, CodeForces, and even you can try solving problems on HackerRank, uh, mm, or topic. I mean, you can get a couple of good basic questions topic wise on HackerRank as well. That can build your basics a lot. So I do find HackerRank questions good too. So yeah. Um, So yeah, that is about DSA. I mean, topics. I just cannot say that these topics and that topics, but I think yeah, all the basic things you guys can try and cover. Can you tell us what extent were the fundamentals of CS being asked? So they'll test you at very it won't be like a it won't be like any viva that that will happen in our college. Like some teacher asking you some questions and then you answer it. So you should basically understand the concepts properly about why something is existing. For example, some algorithm and something that we have. So why is it even there? Why does it even exist? What is the use of it? So you must be thinking in this particular aspects regarding some concept that you learn. I think they even the interviewers do expect in that way. So basically, I was tested upon a couple of OS concepts like virtual memory and all in my interviews, where I was given a whiteboard, and the interviewer just wanted me to explain what exactly virtual memory is, why do we actually need it, and stuff like that on a whiteboard. So that's how the interviews go. So they tend to it won't be like a book definition type interview, but yeah, rather they test how well you understand things and how well uh, uh, you try to use the concepts that you learn. So all the interviews would be focusing on these things. And even if you don't know something, they basically try to test how much you can think or think about something. So yeah. And do you remember which problems did they ask you? Can you please share it with us? So this is also pretty difficult because we do gave a lot of exams, like placement exams in last like when we were in our fourth year, and I think it's been almost 1 year since I gave my exam. I think last October I gave my exam. If I'm not but I don't remember any questions to be honest from the exam. But yeah, I'm thinking at least if I remember some algorithm of data structures that we have there. So do you guys have anything else that you want to know? Was the interview process online? Yeah, the whole process would be online, including the written test, interviews, and all. I'm thinking it would be the same this year too, but I'm not sure how it would be. But I'm thinking it would be the same. Uh, but yeah, I think you will be knowing about these things in the pre-placement talk because even I'm not quite sure about how they decided. If at all they're hiring people from many other colleges at the same time as they are visiting us, then I think it may be virtual only completely. Yeah, if not, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not quite sure about this year. At least last year, it was all virtual because along with our college, the basically hiring was like hiring did happen for many other colleges all over India at the same time. So it was all virtual. So if it is like that this time, then yeah, it would be virtual only, like online interviews. Yeah. So yeah, anything else that you guys have in mind? Okay. Mm, yeah, I think I can wait for like a couple of minutes, like 1 or 2 minutes. If you guys still have anything, if not, I think we are good here.
I think there are no other questions.
Yeah, cool, cool. Then I think we're good here.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks so much for making your time and clearing all our doubts.
Yeah, no issues. Even if you guys like have any other doubts later, also like, you guys can like ping me on WhatsApp or even on LinkedIn if you guys are there. I'll be happy to help. And yeah, keep solving and yeah, keep learning and yeah, all the best everyone.
Thanks, Anna.
Cool. Thanks everyone. Bye.